Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the Cidara Therapeutics CDTX first quarter 2024 summary. Today is the 28th of May, 2024, and in the summary, we're going to be looking at the bullish and the bearish parts of this company, specifically the cloud break technology. I generally follow small cap pharma, I do games, I do a little bit of everything, so if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I currently do not own any shares. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by your own due diligence, and any information given is valid for today, the 28th of May, and the slideshow will not be updated, but when we get new news, new slideshow. So it's been a while, but a lot has happened. So I published somewhere late last year when Janssen kind of was like, we're going to go ahead with the deal, but we're going to sublicense it. Very messy. And then there just was not a lot of news for almost 7-8 months for this, and then it's kind of all popped into place. We know where the company's going, so now we're going to talk about it. So the big thing is the $240 million private placement so that Cidara could reacquire CD3888 back from Janssen. And I am just going to go on record because I can. It's over 30 seconds, so I'm not going to get in trouble for this. But Janssen did a dick move. Like, it is just absolutely just atrocious because most companies, if they aren't going to continue on with the program, they just quit it. And I think Cidara would have loved that. We'd have loved that. And Janssen would have gotten just even break. But now Janssen gets money because they had to reacquire it, which again, just a dick move pretty much. So the phase 2B is starting at the start of flu season. So they're gonna be looking at if their medication works over the entire flu season. They believe they'll have cash until completion of the trials. Those trials will go on until the end of 2025. They have divested from their other drug, so we're in good shape there. And then they did a reverse stock split to get back into compliance. Let's talk about Cloudbreak. So neuraminidase inhibitors prevent viruses from reproducing. So this has the advantage of being a fairly universal virus stopper, but it's only tested in flu. You do see this in other medications for short-term stuff when they are trying to use it more of a preventative case. So the company is testing to see if it can last the entire flu season, so 2B. So people are going to get the shot at the beginning, and they're going to be monitored through the whole season. We're going to see if they continue to not get flu and how that works. And like I said, that's a pretty big deal. If you can have something that kind of inhibits viruses for the long term, there's a lot of benefits in that. However, it does seem like it provides short-term benefits for people with the flu based on their 2A study. So that is also very good. It's safe in comparison to the flu shot, which, and when I say safe, I mean it's pretty much negligible to it. It's the same. No major issues were noticed with it. So we can go on. Top line data will be around quarter 4, 2025, depending on, or quarter 2, 2026, depending on what data they're going to be doing first. I'm going to assume they're going to try to get top line data for quarter 4 for what they're doing. Well, so it all sounds nice, but so there are questions if it can provide coverage long-term over the flu season. Again, these inhibitors are known. They're used in some drugs already or being tested in some drugs, and they don't have a long-term effect. They seem to only have a very short effect. But, of course, the question is, can it provide coverage long-term over flu? And if yes, the big question is, can it muscle in on the flu industry? The almighty egg is still the key. So I have worked in flu production. It is a very cheap and mass-producible product. You bring in a lot of eggs, you inject them with flu, you harvest them, you call it a day. With some steps in between, obviously. I am dumbing it down a little bit, but it is a very easy, simple process to do that is reproducible, that has been done by these companies for now decades. So they have it done pretty well. One of the things, of course, that we're going to be looking at is if it does provide this long-term coverage. If we have a lot of flu seasons where the flu strain guess is wrong, of course, it would be helpful. Now, I don't want that because that means more deaths, but the flu strain, pretty much how it is done is they have to make it months in advance because you just can't mass produce this. So again, advantage to Cidara if they can do it. But so sometimes they're wrong, and the difference of being wrong and right in what flu strains are going to be affecting the U.S. or any other places are big because you can have maybe as few as 10 or 20,000 deaths during the flu season if you guess correctly. or you can have upward of 50, 60 or more with a lot more hospitalizations, a lot more sickness, a lot more of that. So again, if it is wrong for a couple seasons or not quite right, it would be an advantage. But again, that's not something that we hope. So, and then again, if it doesn't provide long-term coverage, it provides some coverage, but nothing long-term. Can it be used at the start of flu exposure to lessen the effects of infection? This would limit money, but they're almost 100,000 on the easy years to almost 1 million flu hospitalizations during the rough years. So again, you're limiting your population for that, but that would still be a good amount of money, even if you're using it just as a extra help for those people who are going in for it. So going forward, the company will move into the phase 2B trial and the waiting game begins. So this is really why I haven't invested. I've said a lot of positive about the trials, but why I've invested it is there's no data to the end of year 2025, and they will still need another phase 3 trial. That is going to take up until 2026, 2027. So we're really not going to look, maybe earliest approval is 2028. That's rough. I also have invested because flu production is run by the big boys and they will quash this if needed. And we have seen this in the industry time and time again, is a drug comes up that is better than what is on the market or anything like that. And between lawsuits or, drop in price or just their marketing campaign, they are able to definitely limit how much the company can sell. We've seen that time and time again. This would be the same. No one is going to give up their $10 billion industry because they're like, oh, this is better. Like, it's just not going to happen. We see that all the time. I do like the cloud break technology, but I still think it is too far away to invest in any major money in the stock. Obviously, the stock's $12-ish today. I expect it to go down. And so it might be something I invest in the future when it's maybe at a more appropriate price. But for the moment, like I said, I'm just going to continue to follow it. I'm going to continue to watch it, see how this flu season goes, and of course, wait for that data. So I hope this helps you make any decisions about the stock, bullish or bearish for it. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.